MRC champions are crowned. Rivals MENA starts up, 10 acts is about to begin, and we have an interview with the EMEA Marvel Rivals Championship champions. I'm Tetcher, and this is the Rivals Esports Recap. Welcome to the Rivals Esports Recap, your home for all your Rivals Esports news. Let's get right into it with first a correction. I got a little overexcited with the idea of Fight Night coming back, but as any who went to tune in last week would have seen, it wasn't on. I did make a mistake there, I didn't look correctly at the dates. There is no official announcement on their socials, but according to their stream schedule, there is a broadcast on Thursday, which is usually where Fight Night takes place. I have linked their socials in the description below, so you can check them out yourself to help keep up to date with announcements, including what teams will be playing when they are announced. And now on to the Marvel Rivals Championships, with 14,500 USD up for grabs per region, per system. There was a lot to play for, but for the PC teams, the prize was even sweeter, with the top two teams getting an automatic qualification for Ignite Stage 2. Let's start with the console games, beginning with the Americas. Season 1 champion Sinister 6 fell in the top 6, how ironic, but the eventual winners Hydra made a wild lower bracket run through 7 rounds before finally beating Primal in the final in a 4-0. The same story was not to pass in the Pacific, as Dios Liberos take their second MRC win in a row in a 4-1 over Evidence, continuing their run of dominance. And in EMEA, we own this, also make a very solid claim to their second championship, with 4-0 win over 8AD7AT, likely a team name change, with Season 0 runners-up Oblivion getting third. Now moving on to the PC game, starting with the Americas once again. With 2 Ignite spots up for grabs, the attention is turned to the teams who missed out by just a little bit in Phase 1. This turned out to be a pretty solid choice, as Arrival 7 and Cafe Noir punched their tickets for Phase 2, with Cafe Noir also having to make an amazing run through the lower bracket, taking out Rad NA, Darkness, Atlanta Phoenix, ELO Thugs, Steam Engines, and One Below All, before finally taking the grand finals in a 4-3 versus Arrival 7. Congrats to both, and we will see them in Phase 2 of Ignite. And now onto the Pacific region, a combo of Asia and Oceania. A lot of eyes are on teams like Good Boy, who had some solid previous MRC finishes, Yo Yang 1, made up of ex-Overwatch pros, and Hero, who got close to qualifying for OCE Ignite. And the Oceania fans will be able to rejoice as Hero put up an insane run, taking a 4-0 versus Good Boy in that lower bracket to make top 2, before eventually losing to champions Yo Yang 1. I reached out to a NetEase representative to see how the Ignite regions will be decided due to this being a combined MRC region, and this is the response I got. We will later conduct nationality verification for the players to confirm which region Stage 2 they will compete in. It is likely going to be the OCE region, but it has not been confirmed yet. Of course, they will need to meet Ignite's regional eligibility requirements. As stated, this likely means that Hero will become the 5th team for Oceania in Ignite Phase 2, with Yo Yang 1 becoming the 7th for Asia. The rest of the spots will likely be filled by open qualifiers later. And with China not yet starting, we finally move on to EMEA, with Oblivione being the big favourites. The question became really, who can beat them before the finals, to which the answer was no one, as Chemistry winning the lower bracket finals versus Ascended to claim spot number 2, and that rematch versus Oblivione, who took them down in the upper bracket in a 3-0. The result was very nearly the same, with Oblivione taking a solid first 2 rounds before getting flashbanged by a surprise Chemistry Mr. Fantastic. Richards was not able to repeat their experiment, and the hypothesis was that Oblivione proceeded to take the rest of the maps and the series in a 4-1. I was invited to catch up with the players after the game. Here is that interview. I'll start off with just a very simple point of congratulations on your win. 3rd time is the charm when it comes to MRC. For starters, let's keep it simple. How are you feeling?
I think we're all feeling pretty good. I think it was a nice win today. A little bit sloppy on some of the games, but we came back, we adapted, and we made a nice quick 4-1.
Now I'll start off negative. Let's talk about the one. What happened? The surprise Mr. Fantastic, a little bit unexpected. We don't see that too much outside of some of the ranked games, potentially. And we saw it a little bit in Asia and OCE, but very much less so in EMEA. So, what happened?
I feel like the biggest problem that we had was kind of dealing with his survivability, because we were playing Hela first point, and against 3 tanks, Hela really doesn't do anything, because you're just kind of stat padding, basically, to put it frankly. and we couldn't really understand the solution for it up until afterwards, where after the map we sat down and spoke about it, and then my coach was like, "Guys, listen." So we ended up finding a solution then. But I mean, it's just such an interesting gimmick, we'll call it, because that's what we like to call these kind of unique style comps, gimmick comps. Such a gimmick that we haven't experienced in scrims or in any officials before, so we weren't really prepared. We would just had to adapt on the fly afterwards and ended up doing well. But it was a good pick from them.
So let's go back in time a little bit. This is obviously not the Oblivione has gone through a couple roster changes. Who was part of the rosters that played in Season 0 and Seasons 1?
That would just be me, I think.
Just you. Okay, so third
Yeah,
time really is the charm for
me.
you.
Yeah, I think I've actually improved. I've improved every single MRC so far, to be honest. I think I was.
Have.
Yeah, in the beta, I started in the beta as well, actually, in the alpha even. In the alpha, I was top 64, then I hit top 32 in the beta, and then obviously top 16, then top 8, and then now we won it finally. So we're in Ignite, which is great.
But this is obviously not the first MRC for all of you. For example, in this call, Olga, which I'm going to assume is Oleg, if I had to take an educated guess. This isn't your first MRC either. You were part of Luminosity for a while, where you had a pretty solid run. Tell me about your journey, about like going from that team to that team splitting up a little bit and making your way here.
Yeah, like at the start, I was with Luminosity, like substitute player, and I wasn't really comfortable being substitute player because I felt like I had a lot of potential, and like I also wanted to have like lots of playtime, which wasn't the case as a substitute. So I tried to split up as soon as possible after the MRC, and then I found my way into Oblivion.
And what drew you to the team?
Like, kinda Ash brought me into the team. Like I made an LFT post, and then Ash said like, "Yeah, wanna try out?" And then I tried out with them. It felt pretty good. And then we just improved the roster, and yeah, the rest is history.
And this might just be my bad research, but Sector, were you playing in NA for a bit with Intent and all that?
I was. Yeah, so I was previously on a team with Intent and OBA, which is actually an NA loser bracket right now, playing for the Grand Finals. So we were on that team, and then Ash hit us both up. Actually, Oleg did. Oleg was talking to Intent, and then Intent told me to come EU because I'm an Icelandic citizen, so I'm not an import. And he said, "Yo, come EU MRC, let's get this done." So we both left and came over to EU.
And what's that been like? Are you in Iceland at the moment, or are you still playing from West Coast? Are you on ping?
We're both East Coast, so
East Coast.
We gotta wake up very, very early for Saturday's games for the winners bracket finals. So we were both up at like I think 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. just waking up, getting ready for the games. And it's been a struggle, but it was alright.
So that makes you one of the only players, I believe, in now Ignite, but also MRC playing on that level of ping. How is that for you?
It's actually not that bad. We both have like I think 90 ping when we're playing on Frankfurt, so it's pretty manageable. Yeah, I mean it's not that bad. I think we've played scrims on worse. We've played like 180, 200 ping, and it's pretty manageable. I think it's just it gets rough on 200 plus, but anything below that's pretty okay.
So in the message I got from Zhu asking for if I wanted to do this with you, they mentioned that y'all threw a little bit in the Ignite qualifying games in those first qualifiers. Want to elaborate a bit more on that?
Well, I feel like our initial qualifier, we were extremely strong. We were performing very, very well. And then we unfortunately had to face Rad in our last qualifying game. So they ended up qualifying over us, and then we ended up losing because of that. And then in the second qualifier, we also got a teeny bit unfortunate, but mostly we just played really badly, and Fire Strays played well. I mean, it was a massive amount of things when it comes to the new patch being released, our adaptation to the new patch. There was a lot of things that we kind of misread a little bit, but yeah, I mean, since then we've improved obviously quite a lot on our smaller mistakes, or some of the larger mistakes that we had at that time. But yeah, I feel like you saw a glimpse of what our team could have been on that Central Park map where we full held them and full pushed on against Fire Strays and the 2-1 defeat that we had. So it's pretty etched in all of our minds, I think, but hopefully sky's the limit now.
And how ironic that you guys are now qualified for Ignite, while Fire Strays will have to go through open qualifiers again, because only the top half from Ignite gets to move on to stage 2.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. I mean, as Missouri once said, the phoenix shall rise again another day.
Your opponent's chemistry, I'm still not 100% sure on how you actually pronounce that name, but they were able to take a map off you, but you were able to take the 4-1 overall. They are coming into Ignite with you. Do you feel like there might be a little bit of camaraderie coming in there, and how do you feel about them as future opponents?
Oli, you want this one? I think you should get it.
I think you should answer this one.
Oh, okay.
So chemistry and future opponents, in my opinion, like we saw it today, we pretty much rolled over them. In my opinion, they like pulled out this gimmick comp, but we adapted to it pretty quickly after Cynic. Like our coach helped us out a little bit because we didn't really get on the Ultron on ourselves. But I think in the future they can really improve a lot, since they also have a pretty good coach as far as I know. Like I think it's Devin one, who also coached some pretty good teams. And I think if they just keep grinding and improve until next Unite, I mean there's like I think 2 months or like 1.5 months to go. I think they can get like a really good opponent and maybe even beat us.
So you guys are from a lot of different teams scattered around coming into this final roster of Oblivione, but you all have a lot of history with a lot of these players. Like some went to Insomnia, some from the old Luminosity, and now Rad. Going into Ignite, who do you have your eyes set on as, like, let's call them main rival, and who are you just most excited to play against?
For me personally, I'm really excited to. I want to be the third team to ever take to beat VP in a series. I think that's kind of the goal for me. I feel like that would be an extremely statement win for both me and my team. If we do that, I feel like it's always going to be a fun game to play with my ex teammates all on Insomnia. I mean, those are phenomenal players, all of them. So it will be a really nice series to play against them, obviously, and maybe get one over them. So would be pretty interesting. But I'd say VP is definitely the one, even though they obviously didn't qualify for Ignite. I feel like they're still the giants that need to be dethroned. It's not convincing enough yet, I think.
Like for me, the most exciting thing to play against is probably Red Esports, since it's like my old team, and I don't know, it's just a different feeling to play against them compared to other teams. But I feel like the team we really wanna beat, or like for me personally, is just Team, especially since they're rank 1 right now, or like the best team in EU, and I just wanna be the best in EU, so they gotta lose there. So yeah.
I think, yeah, Burberry is definitely the team that I'm most excited about, especially since we play pretty similar comps and have been like kind of trying out some of their comps recently in scrims. So I think like it'll be a good matchup for us, especially on some of the mirror comps that we play, like the BP and the Psy, and who comes out on top. Because I think our DPS is pretty solid, so it'll be nice to see who beats who.
If you've had a lot of eyes on you going into this tournament, you've had a lot of people who might want to start following you, might want to start supporting you. What do you have to say to the people who saw your games and are like, yes, I want to get behind this team?
I don't really know how to respond to this. I let Sector answer this.
Well, I think you want to talk a little bit about your picture, Oleg. But I think to all the people that are watching that want to support us, thank you. We're gonna be putting a lot of work in, so we'll try not to disappoint. I know we let down 2 matches in MRC, but we'll clean it up before Ignite. So we'll start looking like one of the top teams in a little while. And I'll let Oleg talk about his picture.
I was going to leave it till last, but yeah, I'll drop it now. What's up with that? That's so cool.
Okay, so this picture is the one that Drew, our manager, drew for us. And yeah, it's just a representation of our team. For example, here we have Zuri, our tank. Here we have Ash. That's me. That's Drew, our manager. That's Cynic, our coach. That's Sophie, our assistant manager now, and our manager when Drew is gone, because Drew is gonna have some time problems here. That's Zefrod, our substitute. That's Alura with his milkshake, because Alura likes drinking milkshakes. Oops. That one is a Sector, because he has his Luna hair and Sector likes to play Luna, and that's our beloved Intent with his Hella sword. And yeah, I just hope to stick with them together like a family. Like this picture here it shows basically a family picture of us, and yeah.
That is super cool. That's also very sweet. I very much enjoyed that. That is super cool. I also love that a lot of you have like minor like hero representations in there, like the Lunar hair, and I'm guessing the green is the Hulk, if I had to guess,
Yeah.
and the Magneto helmet. Very cool. Well, now I will ask the inverse question. You are heading into Ignite. What messages do you have for your opponents?
I think everyone underestimates us. Oh, they're just the MRC team that's moving up into Ignite. I'll say it's fine. We'll bring it on the battlefield, I guess. So we'll see how it goes. It's just hope that they stay humble enough to prep against us and practice to win, because we'll definitely be trying harder than they will.
Thank you, Oblivione, for joining me today. Let's go down the line from my camera, so I'll just read off names as they go. Where can people find you if they want to follow you and support you more? Let's start off with Ash.
Well, for me, it's Ash_OW on Twitter so far, or well, X, formerly known as Twitter.
It's Twitter.
And I'm going to be streaming on, it's Twitter, obviously. And then I'm going to be streaming on Twitch now more, obviously, with my #1 MRC banner. Obviously, have to flex that in ranked at Ash_MR. So we'll be nice to see you guys there.
Next up, Oleg. And I should ask, do you prefer Oleg or do you prefer Oligator?
Just Oleg. Oleg is fine.
Oleg it is. So yeah, where can people find you?
And you can find me on Twitch mainly with Oligator with 2 T's and 2 O's. And on Twitter with the same ad, just Oligator with 2 T's and 2 O's. That's like the main socials I use. Then I also have my YouTube and TikTok, which also have the same name, but these are pretty inactive currently.
That is fair, and that leaves us with Sector.
Yep. So you can find me on Twitch, Sector MR, and then I have the same handle for X or Twitter, which is also Sector MR, and for TikTok as well. I actually find
And
you can find a few posts there.
Thanks for having me, Oblivione. Their socials are in the description below. Good luck to you and Q Mystery in Stage 2. I will see you there. The Rivals MENA Cup bracket is moving along nicely, with Insomnia waiting for an opponent out of Rad and Oblivione. Very ironic that the players on all 3 teams have been on rosters together in the past. Zero Tenacity and Low 9 will be clashing, I believe, tonight, about an hour after this video goes live, so check out the links in the description for the streams. This tournament is also a good preview as to some Ignite roster tryouts. Zero Tenacity are currently playing with Crazy Kitty after Canuton's departure. Low 9 are currently playing with Black Soul and Lime Pro instead of the aforementioned Crazy Kitty and Wolver. A combined roster called PSG, made up of Tuzi, Monkmura, DRP, Beetle, Seijiro, and Etsu, is currently preparing for a match versus Logang in the lower bracket. These are some very interesting teams, so check out the streams in order to see some very interesting matchups. In Ignite, China has finally hit its playoff stage, with Nova Esports and OUG as the #1 seeds from their groups. These games will have a clean feed, so I might try and get a cast or 2 in for those, so make sure to ring that bell and or follow the Twitch to see if I go live with those games. And the 10X Rebirth Circuit starts up this weekend. Currently we have teams like Invictus, Cafe Noir, Erudite, and FlyQuest signed up, so should be some solid games. Link in the description to find out more, but if you want to sign up to play, be aware that there is an entry fee of $66.74. And that's it! Happy birthday to Forever774 from Insomnia GG! Here are the transfers for the last week. Did I miss anything? As usual, everything on this channel is almost always a solo effort, so please let me know if I missed anything in the comments, on Discord, or message me on Blue Sky. You can support the show by liking the video, subscribing, or commenting to help boost it in the algorithm. Get your name in the credits by becoming a member, or just share with a friend. That's all from me. Normal casting schedule starting again soon. Thanks very much for watching, and this is the clip of the week.
Ultra one.
We have to fight.
Yeah.
I'm
They're
shooting.
4, 3, 2.
Come side.
I'm
Help intent.
Ah, he's fine.
The Luna's one.
Dodge.
Come side, please walk.
It's
Go
huge.
back, it's massive.
Watch you win.
Watch.
3, 2, 1.
Trench. Everybody's trench.
Nice,
Everybody's trench.
Come. I lamp you. Kill change. Kill you win.
Everybody's trench.
No. Kill it. Go free.
That's true. They have no TP.
Run,
Nice.
nice.
Oh my
You went,
god.
Body left. They're in Venom. Body Venom. They can touch.
Body coming?
Hankas one.
Where's bro flying?
Nice.
I
Good
swear
shit,
to
guys.
fucking plane,
Good fucking shit, guys.
Holy
Good fucking
shit.
shit. Good fucking shit, guys. Congratulations.
All right. Hello. Am I allowed to talk? I don't even know.
I don't see why not. Hello.
Hello, Rox.
Wait, who else is in here?
Do y'all want to explain
I
what's
heard
happening here?
Sorry.
hi.
Oh, let me quickly explain. So, Rox, this is Tetcher. Tetcher was casting our MRC games, and Tetcher, this is Rox. Rox is one of the co-owners of EXO and one of the content directors, or like the content director. So,
Hello, Tetcher.
yeah.
How are
Hello,
you?
Rox. I'm
quick.
good. I'm enjoying talking to your players.
Are you guys mid-interview right now?
Yes, we are.
Ah, sugar. All right. Well, all right. I'll mute up.
Thank you for joining in.